Today is November 2nd, Wednesday, 2011. Okay, Halloween. Well, Halloween is actually, it's like a novelty holiday here in Japan. It's not really a traditional Japanese holiday. It's kind of a novelty holiday in the sense that it's kind of an interesting holiday for Japanese people, and they like to have parties and dress up in costumes, but they know it's an American holiday. But anyways, Halloween Day, wow, that was such a busy day for me. I had to work all day, and I was thinking that maybe that night I'd like to go out, go down to Osaka and go to some clubs or go to a bar or something and socialize or whatever. But actually it ended up being one of the busiest days of the year for me, and there was a few things that just made it even more hectic than it needed to be. So I had to work in the morning, and I had to work in this really remote location, and I took the bus to this really remote location, and the bus fare cost about $5 US, about 500 yen. And I took the bus out to this really rural area where I had to work. And when I got to work, I had about 30 minutes before I had to actually be at the job site. And when I got off the bus, I paid for my bus fare, and I realized that I didn't have any money in my wallet. So I was able to pay for my bus fare, but I didn't have the money to get back to the city. So I had about 30 minutes, and I knew there was a convenience store about a mile down the road. So I told my coworkers that I was going to go to this convenience store and use an ATM to get some money so that I could take the bus back to the city after work. And on Monday, on Halloween Day, it was really sunny and warm. So I was wearing a suit and some business shoes, and I was like running down this country road because I knew I had 15 minutes to get there and 15 minutes to get back, and it was about a mile away. And so I was just like sweating, and I was getting sunburned, and I was just running down this country road, and I couldn't find this convenience store that I had seen before. And I was looking around for it, and I was lost. So I thought, okay, I need to ask somebody where it is. And there was nobody around because it's just this really rural area. But then there was this little side street, and I saw this old lady. She looked like she was in her 70s or 80s, and she was walking towards me, and she saw me, and I saw her. And when you're a foreigner here in Japan, it's like there's not a lot of foreigners in certain areas, and you really you get a sense of who's going to treat you in a positive way and who's going to treat you in a negative way. And you develop that sense of people after you've lived here for a while. And I just thought, this lady, as soon as I talk to her, she's going to be petrified. She looks like the kind of old lady that's never talked to a foreign person before, and she just knows Japan, and she just knows Japanese people. I was like, but God, I need to know where this convenience store is, and I'm in a bind, so I have to talk to her. I really didn't want to because I thought she was going to react to me in a negative way. And so I was just like, well, I got to do it because there's nobody else around here. So I walked up to her and I said, "Sumimasen, kono hen konbini wa arimasu ka?" Which means excuse me, is there a convenience store around here? And I just expected her to ignore me, or just say, "I'm sorry, I don't know," and just walk away, like a lot of people do here when they don't want to talk to you. But she didn't. I was surprised. She was really friendly to me, and she started to explain it to me and give me detailed directions to where I needed to go. But after she gave me the directions, I realized that she was giving me directions to a really like a local shop where I could just buy some snack foods, and I needed to find a convenience store that had an ATM. So anyways, I thanked her, and I looked at my watch, and I realized I only had 15 minutes to get to work. And so I ran back to work, and I was hustling and just like, it was so hot, and just I could feel, I was wearing like a long sleeve, you know, business shirt, and the sweat was just dripping down inside. And I made it back to work on time, and you know, I did my work in the morning, and then I finished in the afternoon. And then what happened was one of my coworkers lent me 500 yen to get back to the city, and I found an ATM in the city near the bus station, and I was able to pay my coworker back at that point. So then I only had like 45 minutes for lunch before I had to go to my next job, and my next job was a totally different job. On Monday afternoons I usually teach 8-year-old kids. I teach them English, and today they were going to have a Halloween party, so I had to do this Halloween party for them, and I only had like a 45-minute break, and I was really hungry, so I went back home, and I started to well, I made some udon. Udon is like Japanese noodles, and I put some shiitake mushrooms in the udon. I usually don't eat shiitake mushrooms. I just started eating them recently. And the first couple times I ate them, I got really bad heartburn, and I'm the kind of person that usually doesn't get heartburn. But anyways, I ate the udon, and I put shiitake mushrooms in there, and after I ate, I got ready for my next job to go to this Halloween party for kids. And I started to feel kind of nauseous, you know, like my stomach felt really full, but the food wasn't digesting. And so I was riding my motorcycle to work through the mountains on this mountain road, and just every bump I hit on the road, I could just feel my stomach just churning. And you know, every turn I took on my motorcycle, I could feel the contents in my stomach kind of moving around. I was like, oh man, I'm feeling really nauseous. And before I had left for work, I took some medicine, you know, to like help you digest your food. And I was getting close to my works, you know, where I was going to teach English, and I started to feel really nauseous. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to pull over here. And I saw this place where I could hide behind some bushes, because like actually I don't think I've ever thrown up in public before, but I knew it was coming. I could feel it. And I just I parked my motorcycle on the side of the road, and I ran up some steps, and there were some bushes, and I just got down on my hands and my knees, and I just heaved it up. And it was like the first time was like just the warm up, and then about a minute later came the big one where like the whole content of my stomach came out. You could see all the noodles flying out, mushrooms, seaweed, all the Pepto-Bismol. It was like a pink color. I was just, you know, on my hands and knees, and then came the third wave and more vomit. And hey, what's up? Yeah. And I was just like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Like, these kids are waiting for me to have this Halloween party, and I just felt like crap. I felt so bad. There's no way I could jump around and be happy and be around, you know, happy screaming kids. I was like, what am I gonna do? It's like, I can't cancel, you know, because if I'm gonna cancel, I have to tell, you know, the organizer of the class. I would have to tell them like at least an hour before or something. So I was just like, you know, just like, fuck it, just man up and do your job if you can. So I got to this Halloween party and my eyes were like beet red, and I had like, you know, I had like this throw up like taste in my mouth, and just like mucus, and I just felt disgusting. And these kids were waiting to have this Halloween party, and I just, like, when I walked into the room, they were like, "Why are your eyes all red?" And you know, kids, man, they don't care how you feel. They're just thinking, they're in their own little world. You know, they want to play. They want you to entertain them or give them attention. They don't care how you feel. And so, you know, I toughed it out for 2 hours, and I did this Halloween party, and I played games with them, and I just tried to ignore my own uncomfortable situation. Anyways, I had to work until 10 p.m. that night, teaching English, and when I got home, I was just toasted. I was done. You know, I wanted to go out that night. It was Halloween night. You know, I wanted to go to Osaka and just, you know, enjoy the party atmosphere and meet new people and